Did the Roman Empire actually fall? We all grew up hearing that the mighty Roman Empire came crashing down in 476 AD, when the last Roman emperor, Romulus Augustus, was deposed. But history, as we know, isn't always so black and white. The truth is much more complex, and some would argue, more fascinating. Welcome to AI FuturePast. Today, we're diving into one of history's biggest mysteries. Stick around, because by the end, you might see the fall of Rome in an entirely new light. Setting the stage, the fall of the Western Empire. Let's start with what we think we know. The traditional story is that Rome, once the powerhouse of the ancient world, crumbled in 476 AD. Imagine this. Rome had stretched across 3 continents and governed nearly a quarter of the world's population. But by the 5th century, it was like a dying giant, battered by economic troubles, military overreach, corruption, and waves of barbarian invasions. In 476, Romulus Augustus, the last emperor of the Western Roman Empire, was deposed by a Germanic chieftain named Odoacer. And just like that, history marks it as the end of Rome. But was it really the end? What happened to the Eastern Empire? Here's where it gets interesting. When people talk about the fall of Rome, they often forget about the Eastern Roman Empire, also known as the Byzantine Empire. While the West was collapsing, the Eastern Empire, with its capital in Constantinople, modern-day Istanbul, was thriving. This part of the empire didn't just survive, it flourished for nearly another 1,000 years. The Byzantines saw themselves as Romans. Their emperors wore Roman titles, their armies fought Roman style, and they preserved many Roman laws and customs. So, can we really say that Rome fell if half of it was still alive and kicking? The resilience of Roman culture. And there's more. Even in the so-called fallen Western Empire, Roman culture didn't disappear overnight. Latin remained the language of scholarship and the church. Roman law was still practiced in many areas, and Roman architecture, art, and engineering inspired future generations. Imagine walking through a medieval European city. You'd see Roman-style arches, aqueducts, and even the remnants of Roman roads. In fact, Rome's cultural legacy was so strong that it became the foundation for Western civilization. So again, we have to ask, did Rome truly fall? The role of the Catholic Church. Now, here's a plot twist. While the Roman Empire itself fragmented, the Catholic Church stepped in as the new unifying power in the West. The Church preserved Latin as its official language, maintained Roman literature, and adopted many Roman administrative systems. The Pope even began to assume roles that would have been held by Roman emperors. By the Middle Ages, the Church was so powerful that some historians refer to it as a spiritual Rome. So in a way, the Roman Empire didn't just fall, it transformed, blending into what we now know as medieval Christendom. The Holy Roman Empire, a revival or a rebranding. And then came another twist in 800 AD, with the coronation of Charlemagne as the Holy Roman Emperor. This new Holy Roman Empire wasn't based in Rome, nor was it entirely Roman. It was more of a confederation of Germanic kingdoms, but its leaders claimed a direct link to Rome's legacy. Voltaire famously mocked the Holy Roman Empire as neither holy, nor Roman, nor an empire. But the fact remains, this new empire clung to the idea of Roman authority and tried to revive Rome's legacy. So here we are again, wondering, if people kept trying to revive Rome, did it ever really die? The fall? Or a shift in power? If we look closely, we might see that the fall of Rome wasn't a clean break. It was more of a gradual transformation, a shift in power. The Roman Empire didn't suddenly vanish. It evolved, fragmented, and was carried on by the peoples and institutions it influenced. Think of it as a tree. Rome was the trunk, but its branches spread wide and far. The Byzantine Empire, the Catholic Church, medieval Europe, all these are branches of the Roman tree, each bearing Rome's influence in their own unique way. Rome's legacy in the modern world. And here's where we come in. Even today, we feel the echoes of Rome in our legal systems, languages, government structures, architecture, and even pop culture. Just think, Latin still forms the basis of legal and medical terminology. Many European languages, like Italian, French, and Spanish, are direct descendants of Latin. Rome's architectural marvels inspired structures like the U.S. Capitol and the British Parliament. Concepts like republicanism, citizenship, and law have roots in Roman governance. So, has Rome really fallen, or has it simply evolved, living on in every corner of the modern world? What if Rome never truly fell? This brings us to the big question. What if Rome never really fell? What if it simply transformed, leaving an unbroken chain that stretches from the ancient past to today? The Roman Empire was built to last, and in many ways it still lives in our society. Every time we walk into a government building inspired by Roman architecture or read a book with Latin terms, we're witnessing Rome's legacy. So maybe the real question isn't, did Rome fall? But rather, how has Rome survived? Conclusion: an empire beyond time. In the end, Rome might not have fallen at all, not in the way we imagine. It adapted, transformed, and found new ways to endure. The Western Empire may have crumbled, but its culture, ideas, and institutions endured, outlasting kingdoms, empires, and even time itself. So next time someone tells you that Rome fell, you can ask them, did it really? Or is Rome still very much alive in ways we can't always see? Call to action. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you're as fascinated by ancient mysteries and legacies as we are, make sure to subscribe to AI FuturePast and hit the notification bell. And hey, leave a comment. Do you think Rome really fell? Or is its spirit still with us today? We'd love to hear your thoughts.